Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Imran Nanlawala from A Continuous Charity. We got a very exciting show for you today. We got the amazing and talented team from the Muslim Community Center of Chicago. We got Sister Nazij, we got Brother Jamal, and Sister Sarah. How you guys doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Sister Sarah, can you quickly tell us what is MCC?
Muslim Community Center is one of the oldest mosques in our Chicagoland community, which has two main locations, one in the Elston, Chicago area, and then we have a location in Morton Grove.
So you guys, Jabral and Nazij, you guys represent the youth of MCC. Is this an official part of MCC? Is this something you guys started?
I would say it's an official part of MCC.
Yeah.
It's its own thing under the umbrella of MCC, led by Sarah Auntie, and Nazij is a big part of that as well.
And beyond what we're going to discuss today, Nazij, what else do you guys do for the youth?
We have weekly meetings. We meet up. We have some activities planned out sometimes. Just like any work going on in the community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Sister Sarah.
I was just going to add, actually, Youth of MCC is a very official, like Jamal said, it's under the umbrella, but it's an official recognized organization within MCC all the way to leadership, like our president, Kamran Hussein, blesses the work that youth does. Yeah.
Well, I want to focus on the youth work that you guys have been doing, and I saw this amazing article on the Chicago Tribune. Muslim Youth Group offers grocery delivery to the area's elderly during the coronavirus pandemic. So I found it interesting because at this time, everyone is consumed with fear. People are, a bit afraid, and people have been stuck in their homes like myself, and people have been hoarding toilet paper and all types of different utensils and food items. But when I saw that our youth were actually actively going out and helping the people who are the most vulnerable, helping the people in need, I thought we have to have you guys on the show and ask. First question is, what exactly are you guys doing? What are you guys handing out? Jamal, if we can start with you.
Yeah, sure. So we actually have a group chat on WhatsApp. Started up by Sarah and a few others. And they actually set up this entire Excel doc, and we have a call-in number where people can call in, and it could be anyone in the community. And we focus mostly on the elderly or people that have underlying conditions that can't go and get groceries themselves or would be overexposing themselves with the virus. And they call in or request anything, and that could be groceries, it could be other things as well. And then someone from the team would go out, and they go out there and grab it and then deliver it to them with gloves, masks, everything, practicing social distancing, the whole mile.
And Nazij, why do you guys as an entity or as a group find it important to do something like this when everybody's afraid, staying at home? Why are you guys helping out those in need?
That's pretty much the reason why. Like, everyone's going out, they're stocking up, they're just buying things. Not to say it's selfish, but to an extreme, like, it can be selfish, of course. And these are people who can't go out and get it themselves. They have their own disabilities, their own issues that can't allow them to go out. So we as the youth have to step up and help out our elderly or just anyone else who needs it.
And Sister Sarah, how do you approach this as someone who's leading the youth and someone who's mentoring and motivating the youth? How did you feel when you saw the youth were so galvanized to take part in such an initiative?
Yeah, Imran, I'll tell you, absolutely. It was the youth that came to me. It wasn't like I went to them and said, hey guys, what do you think of this idea? It was all of them coming to me saying, Sarah Auntie, we have elders that won't be able to leave their homes. They're vulnerable, and we have to step up and we have to help them. And faith was not a limitation. It was like any elder who needs our help from our community, we're going to step up and we're going to help them. So it's really impressive to see the energy and the empathy that our youth have.
So just to clarify, it doesn't matter what the recipient, it doesn't matter what religion they follow or don't follow. You guys are helping everybody.
That question's not even asked.
And so I guess I'm going to ask the obvious question. Obviously, we share a common faith, but is there anything that inspires you to help your fellow man and woman, your fellow neighbor? Is there anything from the faith particularly? Is this something basically that the faith teaches people like us to do?
I'll let Nazish and Jamal answer.
I would say our faith greatly says that we should definitely help out people that aren't as fortunate as us, and that could be monetarily, it could be in so many other things, spiritually, physically, mentally. This is just one of those things, especially outlined in like the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He helps out people all the time, even if they mistreat him. So we're just trying to follow on that same path.
Awesome.
It's absolutely ingrained in our faith, and especially for elders and youth, right? There's special attention to be welcoming and helpful and and especially merciful to your elders, right? So they deserve it.
Now, just can you explain, like, can you talk to us about some ways how your services have been helping the elderly? What have you guys seen on the ground?
So what we've been doing, so we've just been any supplies, groceries, anything that they could need. We personally go out and get it and deliver it, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback. It's not that hard going out to get it. I mean, there are a lot of people out there. Everyone's nervous, everyone's scared, everyone's trying to stock up, but we do the best that we can. We grab whatever we can for them, and we go and deliver it out to their houses, obviously with like the social distancing kept in mind.
And good, Sister Sarah.
Now, I was going to say, alhamdulillah, we have a team of about 25 volunteers. And I think these 25 volunteers are able to meet our demand right now, but there's so many behind the scene that continue contacting us saying, can we be part of it? So, we're monitoring our needs, our demand before we increase our group size. But alhamdulillah, there's 25 strong volunteers. But having said that, there is a certain few that raise their hands no matter what. As soon as a demand comes in, I'm going to tell you, Nazish is one of them. There's a time we have to say, Nazish, back down, so other people have a chance. But anytime there's a demand that comes in, she's the first to say, sign me up. MashaAllah.
Jamal, take us through the practical ways you guys are keeping safe. So now if you guys are going out there and getting groceries, you're handing them out, what are some things you guys are doing to keep safe?
Yeah, it's definitely escalated compared to when we first started the program. So obviously, we have gloves provided by MCC and Zaranti, and we also have masks provided by Zaranti and MCC, and hand sanitizer, everything. And we are practicing social distancing. So even when we are at the grocery stores and getting things, we are staying distant from people as we get those. When we go to the car, we put it in the car. We're making sure that between each contact, everything is sanitized and clean, whether that means changing gloves before even delivering it and changing gloves in between the grocery store and going back and forth.
And Sister Sarah, I'm going to pitch it back to you. Why is it important for us to be working with our youth, developing them and encouraging them to do things like this? Because my experience dealing with a lot of youth is that they don't feel motivated at times, or it's because of the pressure or the criticisms that they face from the elders at times. But here we got people who are very young, but they're doing such great things. So talk to us a little bit about why that's important and how you guys approach working with them.
Yeah, as an elder, I do have an official title as a youth coordinator at MCC. So I do proactively look out to engage them. But alhamdulillah, they need leadership qualities, but it's more through mentorship. And you're right, there are in every masjid, and MCC is not immune to it. There is a segment that may be a little harsh to our young ones and maybe criticize them, but you welcome them, and that's my approach. It's not what I want for them. It's always asking them, what do you guys want? How do you want to be part of this community? How do you see yourself as being leaders in this community? And it's cliche, but they are the future leaders of MCC. So it is in our best interest to invest in them and meet them where they need to be, not tell them how we want to, what we want them to do, but what it is that they demand of us.
Yeah, I think what I was getting at is not criticisms from MCC, but in general, the way society looks at youth are that they're inexperienced, that they play games all day or they stay on their phone. But here we have a great example of our youth actually who maybe do those things, but then on the other hand, they actually go out and benefit their fellow men.
Yeah, it's a well-balanced approach, right? So mashallah, all the youth, they're either high school or college students. A lot of them have part-time jobs or maybe even full-time. There are some youth that have full-time 40-hour jobs. But I think it's more of a welcoming spirit and a welcoming environment that you create for them in the mosque that makes them want to be part of it and give back.
So Jamal and Nazish, talk to me about the next steps. What are some other things you guys have planned once we're able to go outside again? What are some activities you guys are working on?
So specifically, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is we're actually starting up a podcast coming soon with the help of Imran and Saranti, and Nazish is also part of it, Youth MCC in general. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. But other than that, we have weekly tafsir, theater classes, things like that, always going on. We have a Big Brother, Big Sister program. I think Nazish could talk a little bit about the Big Sister program coming up too.
Go ahead, Nazish.
Yeah, so the Big Sister program is very similar to the Big Brother program. We're like standing as mentors to our younger girls in the community. I think we're meeting up probably like once a week or so. And just have activities planned for that, just hanging out with them, talking to them, getting close with them, teaching them what we've learned along the way, being their actual like big sister.
So we launched the Big Brother program back in December. Alhamdulillah, we have about 11 college boys that meet weekly with middle school boys. And each week we set up giving them a social activity, but then they also give them, loosely I'll call it halaqa, but it's really connection. And the main objective is to be able to connect with these young boys, the little brothers, so that they see a role model in their big brothers, and we build a trusting and lasting relationship. So as these middle school boys grow up and go into high school and they face the issues, the social whatever identity issues, that they have someone to rely on. Obviously, we all have our parents, but a lot of times it's much easier to talk to someone who's walked the walk, and more relatable. So Jamal, why don't you speak a little about the Big Brothers? Because the Big Sisters we haven't launched yet. Unfortunately, just as we were launching it, the pandemic hit us, but we got a good 2 months under our belt for the Big Brothers. So Jamal, what do you say?
Yeah, I think Saranti touched on it really well. A big thing is, other than what she said, is that a lot of these kids actually don't have parental figures in their life as well. So like everyone comes from different circumstances, different backgrounds, and especially me growing up, this would have been an awesome thing to have. We had that in YI and YM, which is like Young Muslims and Youth Initiative. This is very similar, but under MCC, and focused specifically not on just high school students, but for middle school going into high school. Nowadays in our society, we see a lot of Islamic schools that are here now that weren't there probably 10, 15 years ago. And a lot of these kids are going from private middle schools that are in elementary schools that are set up in an Islamic nature to a high school that's public, to all different faiths, all different cultures, and then going into college where it'll be completely different, and kind of preparing them as people that went through that and went to public schools, kind of preparing them for that bridge.
So talk to us about now that both of you are, I think Nazit, you've got 1 year left for university, and Jamal, you'll be graduating. And now that you guys have transitioned very well into becoming adults, but you guys are still very active with younger students and younger people. Talk to us about the importance in general of youth work and how you would like to see our community and our elders support youth work in our community. And you guys can both answer that.
You want to go first? You want me to go? I think youth work is huge for many obvious reasons that have been stated already. But I think elders really, really appreciate youth work as well. Maybe we could be seen at times. We do play a lot of video games. We do a lot of fun stuff, and it could be looked as annoying from like the elder standpoint. But then there's a lot of good that we bring to the table too, whether it's helping on the masjid, in and outside the masjid, just in the community itself. I think we really prioritize as a community and as Muslims work with other Muslims, but then going outside of that. And the really awesome thing about this grocery thing that we have going on is that the multiple faiths, regardless of faith, knowing that this pandemic is not only for Muslims, it's not only for certain people, it's not racist, it doesn't like gentrify like that, it's for everyone. So we need to be there for everyone. Moving forward, youth have a big place in that, and a lot of the programs that we have now is already starting to prepare even younger youth, like middle schoolers, for example, to take on that role a few years from now.
Nazit.
Yeah, so it's really, like, as we all know, it's really important in our religion that we do things in our youth, because our youth is our prime. That's where we're supposed to be involved in things, do things for our ummah, the rest of the community, and that's what I've always kept in mind. That when we all die, we have to have something to say that we've done for our ummah, for the community, for the rest of our people. Like, what have we done in our youth for others? And that's why I think it's really important for the youth to get involved as soon as they can, because they can see what Islam promotes. Like, we're supposed to be helping people out. We're supposed to be doing good. We're supposed to be spreading good and helping those who need that type of help. So that's why, yeah, youth involvement in the community is really, really important.
And Imran, MCC leadership really has, in the last couple of years, been encouraging and proactively bringing the youth in to participate. I'll tell you, our youth coordinator positions are officially recognized positions. They're not just volunteer positions. And this year, for the first time, unfortunately, again, so much is being attributed to what we can't do because of the pandemic. But our Ramadan committee that would have been overseeing all the Ramadan activities, actually the chair and co-chair for that were 2 college boys.
Wow.
2 college boys and 1 college girl. So it was completely made up of youth.
So our youth are actually empowered in the community. They have positions of leadership and they're participating.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna leave it off, guys. I'm gonna give everybody a final word, and I'm gonna leave the floor open to you, whether it's about the initiative helping the elderly and helping the people who are vulnerable, or some initiative you guys want to talk about. So I'll give each of you a few seconds or half a minute to talk about whatever you want. Jamal, we'll start with you.
All right. I guess first things first, practice social distancing, please. We are at a time right now where we don't know where the peak's going to be for this virus, especially in the U.S., whether it's next week, week after that. And it's hard, and everyone is struggling at home with different things. Everyone has their own battles, but to stay strong through it, we'll get through it soon, inshallah, together. On top of that, be kind to each other. I'm misspeaking because in the household, when you're with your brothers all day or with your family all day, things could get stressful. So just staying strong through it.
Awesome. Nazic?
It's really important to make use of this time that we have in quarantine. There's so much that we could do. There's so much that we could give attention to, especially our deen and our faith. I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to get back in touch with our faith, get close with Allah again, do those things that we've always wanted to do, but we couldn't because our usual lives have been restricting us. So I really think that this is a great opportunity for all of us to just take this as like a wake-up call. Yeah, we really have to get back in touch with our faith.
Great reminder. Sister Sarah?
I echo what both Jamal and Nazir say. I think we should, it's a forced quarantine, but a great opportunity for us to reflect on our personal relationship with Allah, our personal relationship with our families, our relationship with our community, and just bringing it back to our grocery service project. I'll tell you, alhamdulillah, I reached out to the youth earlier this week saying, guys, things are getting worse. Some of the zip codes that we serve are highest hit for known positives of COVID. And, I recommend we take a back seat, let's take a step back because I don't want to put you guys in jeopardy. And unanimously, they're all like, well, no, we could do this a little smarter way. We don't want to stop. We don't want to take a back seat. We don't want to step back from this, but we can work smarter. So, again, we talk about power to the youth, mashallah. They're despite how difficult the situation's getting with the COVID situation, they're not willing to back down. They're thinking of creative ways of continuing to keep the service project going.
May the Most High reward all of you guys. I think this is, great. It is a great representation of our faith and our community. So I'm very thankful to all of you for helping out and, being positive and giving a positive example of what people such as ourselves can do. On that token, I wanted to share something with you guys. So ACCA Continuous Charity, we're an organization that gives interest-free loans to college students. So we have an initiative right now, which can be found at acceducate.org/student relief. So if you know a student, a college-age student or high school-age student, but most likely probably a college-age student who's been affected negatively by COVID-19, right? They've been kicked out of their dorm. Maybe they lost accessibility to food, shelter, what have you. Please have them come to this website, fill out a form, and we're handing out grants up to $500. So if you know anyone who could benefit from this, please circulate it. We 100% absolutely believe that we have to empower our youth and make not only education accessible, but at this time, make food, water, and shelter accessible. So on that note, we're very thankful to you guys. And Jamal, I'll let you close it out with where can we find the podcast and where can we find out more about the youth of MCC?
Yeah, so first things first, follow Youth of MCC on Instagram at Youth of MCC. And sorry, I don't even know the rest of the social networks for that, but that's like the main one. So make sure you guys follow us there.
And so I'm going to close it out now, guys. Anything in closing you want to say any more than what we said already?
Thanks, Imran, for giving us a platform to explain what the service is and more than anything, get the word out. So if there's other people that can benefit from it, Jazakallah for giving us this platform.
Well, yeah. One more time, where can they find you guys if they want to utilize this service? How can they apply or how can they contact you guys?
So our flyer is on the Youth of MCC Instagram. It's on the MCC website. Actually, it's on the Morton Grove Villages website too. It's in the Morton Grove Police Department's Facebook website. So there's a lot of places that they can reach out to us.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. May the Most High bless you, and we'll hear from you guys soon.
Thanks, Imran.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.